Hey everyone, Eggman here with another video, and we're currently live on Twitch, maybe not on the rebroadcast, but there's a chance that we are. But we're doing a tier list for the update of OP04 in this. I'm just going to call it the November format. We do have the restrictions that take place literally tomorrow and everything else, and chat saying hi, so say hi back in the comments. I hope to see a bunch of high Twitch comments on this video too. But we're having a good time. We're doing a lot of testing. You should be here. You should be following me on Twitch as well. And we've been doing a lot of live streaming in the last little bit. And we also hit partner, which also maybe indicates that we've been doing a lot of live streaming too. But we're gonna go over this tier list with the new restrictions, and also I'm going to make whenever I can talk about Starter Deck 10. I'm probably going to make this more leaning to Starter Deck 10 as well. But we also have the Pasadena coming up. Like, I'm literally leaving for that in like 2 hours. So a little bit of prediction for what I think is going to be doing well in that format. We have like 2 weekends with 4 events here in North America. And I think that is kind of what we've got. So we're going to start off. We're going to start off with, we're just going to maybe put a couple cards in the unplayable. The easy one is the Newgate. That just kind of has to live there for the next month or so. I think that is fair. What other decks are a little bit unplayable? I'm going to put Shanks there. I know I'm going to see some comments about, oh no, he's really good, I promise. Sanji's not really doing good right now. Sakazuki's just like the worst one. What else is in that kind of tier? Anything else that just kind of screams, I don't, listen, I know Iceberg is bad, but I think there's a chance for him. Let's see. It's not including past, this is, no. This includes. I mean, like, this is what my thoughts are going into Pasadena. The only difference is that, like, the biggest one is like Magellan. Magellan's probably going to move up like a tier after the new release of Starter Deck 10 comes out, but I'll just kind of mention that too. So, but I think everything else is moderate. We're going to put Uta there. We're going to put Uta there too. So we're going to see. Yeah, let's kind of just go into it. So maybe we'll just start with the Star Deck 10 decks. We have Trafalgar Law, Luffy, and Kid. I think Law is like in this competitive area right here. He's pretty strong, but I think that the consistency isn't always there right now. But I think that's kind of where that is. We'll be going, what else? Luffy's just in highly playable and probably uses Kid as well. Luffy's just kind of got in like a rough spot. Where like a lot of the cards that kind of facilitate his good gameplay got hit, so it's not as good as it used to be. And then also Useless Kid. Useless Kid gets kind of weird. Like, most of the actual good cards for this deck came out in OP05, and we don't get that. Like, when those cards that he gets, other decks use better, right? Kid will be getting Buddy Battle, I'm sure. And yeah, I know all these opinions already. I know Shanks. A lot of people have been on Shanks for a little bit, so we'll see. We'll see how that is. What else do we have? How else do we? I'm just going to go left to right. Zoro's at least competitive. I might change these up towards the end, but the biggest thing, and Law, kind of the same thing. I think they're both competitive. If I was to say which one was probably the best going into this next format of the two of them, it's probably Red Green Law. What do you guys think? Do you think Red Green Law or Zoro is better going into the next one? Because I think both of them are still good. They've lost more. They don't really lose strength necessarily. They just lose their consistency. So I would not be surprised to see either of these tops. I think Law is better, and I think that a lot of people I've seen brews of spicy builds of Law. So that means, like, imagine the builds that people are keeping the secret, right? But it's kind of where it is. But yeah, both are really good. I'm going to put Zoro in competitive. I think you do lose consistency, because like the biggest thing that I played against Zoro is that, like, they would play like Dadan, or like Dadan and Buggy, like they play so many 1s and 2 drops, and their hand is still like 10 cards big, right? So I think that's kind of where that is, but we'll see. Law did lose consistency. I'm not going to deny that, but I think that Law is also stupid good when it just sees, like, as long as you see Bonnie and 5-drop Law, like, the world's your oyster a lot of the time. So, and it did lose. If Red, like Zoro, was kind of like its worst matchup, and Ace 100%. I'm going to put Ace in highly playable right now. We'll see if that kind of sticks there. This Luffy's probably just playable. Odin's probably just playable. Dofi, probably competitive. I know more people have been on it since the restrictions, so we'll probably just be okay there. Kinemon, I also think is kind of, let's keep going. This is probably like post restriction list. I think Kaido is fine in that highly playable spot. Our post starter deck 10. Like purple, everything in purple just kind of moved up like a little bit of a tier, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, Katakuri, I'll just kind of like the easy pick too. Katakuri and Big Mom. Oh, not that Big Mom. We'll put that one there. But like Linlin, people aren't talking about Linlin. I think Linlin is equally, if not better, than Katakuri a lot of the time. It is a really strong leader, and it's nearly identical, right? So I think that both of the like we'll probably see a lot more Linlin than we've been seeing because I think Katakuri, the strength of it has been like it. The 7K aggression is needed against some decks, especially stuff like red. But Linlin doesn't need like when everything like is a 5K base more or less now. I think it makes a little bit less of a difference. So we'll leave that there. Blue Purple Croc. I love this deck. We're going to put it in playable. King and Kaido. These are the same as well. We're going to put these in competitive. I think with the new restriction or with the new Star Deck 10, they're in a good spot there too. Yeah. Newgate was a really tough matchup for Linlin, so that helps it out a lot. I feel like. So I think Linlin is again. People are always saying Katakuri, but it's Katakuri and Linlin 100%. Arlong, I'm putting this. This is like the between competitive and highly competitive. It is clearly there. I'm gonna just put Garp there. I'm gonna put. I feel like there's a spice build of VV, but we'll just put it back in playable. We'll just keep it there. What else? Magellan post Starter Deck 10, I think deserves to be in a highly competitive spot. It probably won't be doing as well in Pasadena, but I think that's kind of how that is. I will also say the funny thing about Linlin is that it is like its worst matchup is Katakuri because you'll put something to the top of your life and the Katakuri will be like, cool, all right, move it to the bottom, or they get to see it and the surprise factor isn't really there. So Kinemon, who's the best green deck? I think Kid. We'll put Kid in highly competitive. I think Kinemon is competitive too. It did win the 64 player event that I held earlier this week too. So I think that is pretty impactful for it. Any other leaders do I think belong in highly competitive? Probably just this guy. I think that deserves leader. We're gonna put Luffy next to Ace. I think that makes sense. Any other decks though that deserve to be in highly competitive? I think Nami is just going to be in like this border tier as well. I know, but I don't know. We'll see. I think it could take off. Like if we get deeper into the format, if this format was longer than a month, I think that there would be enough time to find the new build of Nami for this format. But when we only have like a couple weeks for it, I'm not sure if we're going to find it. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to find it. But yeah, I think that's everything for that highly competitive. I think these are the ones, and we'll put. I think Magellan needs to be like at the end. It definitely gets better with the new stuff. So, but yeah, I think Rebecca is in a worse spot. You guys can. I'm going to put Rebecca in a highly playable. I'm not even going to put in competitive. So, I think we'll maybe see like a Rebecca top every once in a while, but I don't think it's in a really good spot for it. Yamato, I think, belongs in competitive, and Luffy. And honestly, at this point, Croc and Dofi are like the same deck. They're pretty close to it. If I was to put, I think Luffy's just like the best black deck. I think Smoker's pretty close, and Rob, like all three of these are like still pretty identical in a lot of ways. Let's see, Kuro. I'm gonna put Iceberg there. I'm gonna put it Iceberg highly playable. That's the hot take. The hot take is that Iceberg is right here. Ivankov, are we thinking this is doing anything? Smoker's better than Black Luffy. All right. We'll definitely put it like right there. This is gonna be. I'll probably try to reorganize it within the tier as well, but we'll see. We'll probably say this is better here. Arlong it's gonna make it. I know it. Unplayable, really. I'll put in playable, but like at the bottom. People will say that there's spice. I think the best thing, and this is a different rant, but I'm really happy for this restriction list, even it's for a month, because I've just talked to so many people who are excited about playtesting and trying new stuff, and I think that's really cool. I think that really is cool for that. Let's see. Arlong top, yeah, exactly. Right? Why would I mislead Arlong. Like if anything, I'm understating how powerful he is. Let's see. Yeah, it is. It is. I have like I have actual expectation that Arlong does well this weekend. Like if it doesn't do well, I'm going to be actually a little upset of why people not having faith in my boy. All right, our final cards here. Let's see. I'm gonna put purple yellow in. I really want to put this in competitive. I'll just put him in the top of highly playable. We'll put him right there. Queen is probably like the bottom of competitive. It kind of got like Law was a really hard matchup for it, but like Newgate was its best matchup. I feel like Katakuri is rough for it. If Nami's around a lot, it's rough for it. It's kind of in a bad spot. Isha, we're just kind of put in the middle here. Maybe like right here. Z's going to be my secret competitive. I've seen some really cool builds for it. And then Lucci, is Lucci good at all? Yeah, I know. I have to make some cuts anyways. He's like the top. Like I can make like another tier like Lakers Croc right there. Competitive. Z competitive. I again like the build that I was playing that I can't share with right now feels really good. Yeah, Lucci did lose his matchup. Highly playable. All right. We'll put Lucci like right here. All right. I think this is pretty clear. Does anything else need to be in highly competitive? I think these are like I think like the only one potentially besides Arlong chat is probably Nami, right? Besides Arlong is Nami. I think Nami could be there. Just kind of where it's at. Crocodile, maybe. Crocodile like was like a flash in the pan, right? It did really well in the first couple weeks and then kind of petered out, right? Law doesn't make sense. I think Law is still good. I know what people think, but I'm pretty sure Law still deserves to be there. Clyde is saying Croc's gonna be good. Oh my, the purple yellow Croc. Fine, all right, fine. I'll listen to Clyde. Clyde said this. Clyde is telling me to put Crocodile there. Perfect. This is not my decision. No. Queen again. Like I think Queen's not as good. I don't think Queen is as good. And also, like, I probably should have done this towards the beginning because I don't think I did. Highly competitive is a deck that I expect to win a tournament. Competitive is a deck that I expect a top 16. Highly playable will get an occasional top 16 playable. It's just like I think is okay and fun, and then unplayable is I don't think is a good deck. Yeah, it's unplayable. It is literally unplayable. It is the Newgate tier for this month. Let's see. Yeah, I think I can honestly see any of these leaders top, right? Maybe not Yamato. People might not be believing the Yamato because I feel like I have too much stuff in competitive. I really like Yamato. I really do. But I know like no one's going to be playing it with Katakuri and Lin, but yeah, okay, fine. We'll move it down. We'll put like all three of these decks honestly are like the same. They can all top. I know Z is like a little bit copium, but that's fine. I'm okay with that. Is Big Mom really that good? Yeah. Worst case, it's a worse Katakuri, and Katakuri is going to be really good. So it's fine. Luffy over Zoro. Yeah, this Luffy right there. We did it. I think Kinemon is like a bit of a sleeper. I think it's like if you don't respect like what this deck can do, it's in a good spot. I don't know. I think I feel pretty okay with this list. I think this top, and again, like Magellan, all right, we'll just kind of go from the top. So Magellan, I think needs to be, like obviously it gets a lot better with Star Deck 10, but we'll go from there. I don't know what deck for black is like the best, if it's Smoker, Rob Lucci, or Luffy. I think Luffy's probably the most consistent of them all. Smoker is probably the one. I'm going to put Rob Lucci back down. I'm sorry. We'll see if that's wrong. I really like Rob Lucci, but I'm going to put it down. I think I've seen some builds for Smoker and Luffy that we'll see if people kind of believe in it. Arlong, I definitely want to move to highly competitive. I have high hopes. Nami's might be a little bit of a low shot, but because a lot of people are worried about this. But I think we're in like such a tempo game that again, like Nami, if we want the deck to do good, we have to like have a couple weeks of testing of what the meta is. and Nami's a little bit tricky to do that in such a short time. So if this meta was longer than a month, I think it's in a good spot. Kinemon I think is good. I think there's some good plays for it too. Zoro I think is still in a good spot. Red Purple Law is a really tricky deck, and I think it's going to be tricky for people in a month to find the build, but also to just have enough practice with it as well. So we're going to keep it there for competitive. Crocodile and Dofi are moderately similar right now, just kind of different flavors of the same deck. Same thing for King and Kaido. I think they get a big boost to start deck 10. Queen I feel like is someone who's lost a lot from the restriction list is kind of like the matchups. It lost its best matchup and its worst matchup, but I think Katakuri is kind of rough for it as well, and Nami is like really tough for it too. Let's see. Now Red Uta, yeah, first and second place. These two, all right. I'm looking forward to it. Queen is in, but there. Z's my special there. You know what? I really, really want to put Purple Yellow Croc up to competitive. We're gonna keep it here. I'll be tame, but I really truly do love this deck. Yamato, same kind of thing. Like these three decks are like the ones I like playing on the side, and I think that they have good times at times, but that's what it is. Kind of like these bottom three too. These ones do get value, but I feel like there's different decks that are kind of the same flavor but do a little bit better. We do have like this middling pile of red decks. I did actually like playing Eustace Captain Kidd, the red purple one. He's actually my favorite one of the three to play, even though he might be the worst one. Luffy is just like a little bit too dependent on finding cards that are either not searchable anymore or not at 4 copies anymore for him to be, I think, really consistent like he was. Blue Purple Kaido, I think is, as much as I like this, being at 4 life, I still think is a really tough thing to get, overcome with this deck, but it might be better with the star deck 10, but I think this, like the generic purple deck, is better. Let's see. Playable at best. Oh boy, do we play Iceberg after this? I'll show you Iceberg. It is. We'll put. This is my highly playable thing. I don't think anyone's going to be playing it sincerely, but I think it is not a terrible deck. And then these are just kind of just decks that we see every once in a while we not play, and I think that's fair. So anyways, all right. Here's the list. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is where I'm going to settle on right now. This is, again, kind of a bit of prediction for what we're going to see for the next 2 events over 4 weeks. So this is, definitely more prediction because we don't know what the meta looks like with our own restrictions and stuff. So I think that's actually really cool. So that's going to be it for us for this video. We're going to still streaming for anyone still on Twitch right now. But if you're not on Twitch, you can go over there and follow me right now. We're doing a lot of live streams. The live stream for Pasadena this weekend will be here as well, so it should be a good time. Thank you guys all for watching, and I hope to catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.